Let me tell you something most people will never experience: living purely off dividends. Not side hustles, not day trading, not your 9-5. Just passive, automated cash flow rolling into your account while you sleep. Sounds like a dream, right? Well, I lived it for 2 full years. And what I learned? It's not all yachts and beaches. It's strategic, it's disciplined, and yes, it can absolutely change your life. So here's what I discovered after 2 years of living entirely on dividend income: the good, the bad, and the brutally honest. Let's start with the most important thing. You can't fake this life. Dividend income isn't fast money. It's not crypto luck or viral fame. It's built, slowly, methodically. It takes time to get to a point where dividends can pay your rent, your food, your healthcare, your life. But once you do, it's like crossing into a parallel universe. You realize money doesn't have to be earned through constant labor. It can come from owning the right assets. I started with a plan. $500 a month in passive income was the initial target. That's just $6,000 a year. Not enough to live on, but a benchmark. Then $1,000, then $2,000. By the time I reached $3,500 a month in dividends, I was covering all basic living expenses. That's when I decided to pull the trigger and go all in. But here's what no one tells you. When you shift from earned income to dividend income, your relationship with money changes. You're no longer trading time for money. You're letting your past decisions, your investments, work for you. Every dollar becomes a little employee, earning interest and sending you paychecks. It's freeing, but it's also terrifying at first. Why? Because you're suddenly hyper-aware of your yield, your risk tolerance, and your cash flow timing. Every investment you hold is either feeding you or failing you. I diversified early. I didn't just rely on blue-chip stocks like Coca-Cola or Johnson & Johnson. I leaned into REITs, real estate investment trusts, for higher monthly payouts. I also added dividend ETFs for stability. And I sprinkled in a few individual aristocrats, companies with decades of consistent dividend growth. That mix was key. And here's a big one. Monthly payers changed everything. Most dividends pay quarterly, which can leave awkward gaps in your income. But REITs and select ETFs that pay monthly helped me build consistency. Bills come monthly, so should your dividends. But let's not romanticize this too much. There were real challenges. First, taxes. Many dividend investors forget how hard Uncle Sam comes after passive income. Depending on your jurisdiction, those free payouts may be taxed at ordinary income rates. That means proper tax planning and sheltering in retirement accounts where possible is non-negotiable. Second, volatility. The stock market isn't your employer. It doesn't care if you need $3,000 by the 15th. Dividends can be cut. REITs can collapse. Economic downturns can slash your income. I experienced that firsthand during a market correction. One REIT I relied on slashed its dividend by 50%. That's a punch in the gut when it's paying your rent. So I learned 2 things fast. Never rely on a single sector. Keep a buffer, ideally 6-12 months of expenses in cash. That buffer is what saved me. When payouts dropped, I wasn't forced to sell my assets. I could wait. That's what separates those who thrive from those who panic sell at the worst time. Now let's talk about psychology. Living on dividends requires patience and discipline. You don't chase hype. You don't FOMO into meme stocks. You study fundamentals. You read earnings reports. You think like a business owner, because that's what you are. You own small pieces of real companies. And here's the beautiful irony. The more you think long-term, the faster your wealth seems to grow. Why? Because you're reinvesting wisely. You're avoiding taxes. You're not getting wrecked by trading fees or emotions. I also learned to live below my means. That doesn't mean being cheap. It means being intentional. I prioritized assets over aesthetics. I cut lifestyle inflation. I stopped caring about impressing people. And suddenly, I had more money left over each month to reinvest, which of course increased my dividend income. It became a flywheel. Invest, earn dividends, reinvest, earn more, repeat. One of the best parts? Freedom of time. When you live on dividends, you can say no more often. You don't need to accept every gig, every client, every deal. You can choose what aligns with your values. That's space to breathe, to think, to be present. That's real wealth. Now, was everything perfect? No. There were lonely moments. Friends didn't understand what I was doing. You're living off your stocks? They'd laugh. I felt misunderstood, but I realized this isn't for everyone. It's for those who want true independence. Not just financial, but mental, emotional, and lifestyle freedom. Let me also say this. You don't need millions to start. My journey began with less than $10,000 in high-yield dividend funds. I reinvested everything, I increased my savings rate, and I built it over time. This is accessible, if you're consistent. So what did I really learn in 2 years? Dividend investing works, but only if you treat it like a long-term strategy, not a lottery ticket. Diversification and risk management are your best friends. Cash flow is king, and so is consistency. Living on dividends isn't glamorous, but it's powerful. It buys you freedom, not Ferraris. If you're thinking about starting this journey, don't wait for the perfect moment. Start with what you have. Even $50 invested in a dividend ETF is a seed. Water it. Let it grow. Learn. Adjust. Stay committed. This game rewards the patient. In a world obsessed with instant gratification, dividend investing is slow money, but it's smart money. And for those willing to play the long game, it's the closest thing we have to financial immortality. Because here's the truth. One day, you'll wake up and realize your money is working harder than you ever could. And on that day, you won't just be financially free. You'll be truly sovereign. This is the sovereign doctrine. And this was my life on dividends.